Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. You know, there truly is nothing like having everything set up perfectly, waking up on time, perfect rundown. I've got my Factor smoothie brought to you by Factor, sponsor of the Windy City Breeze. And this StreamYard wants to be on games with you. There's truly nothing like it. You do everything right, whatever. We'll talk about that another day. I was about to keep them too. We changing over services. I was like, they added this. I might, you know what?
Isn't there a bird logo for Stream?
Their logo is a bird, ain't it?
I think I probably have the problem. They came back with a vengeance.
Football, Bears OTA number 2 getting started today. What do we want to see improvement-wise from week 1 to week 2? Also, want to take a look at this Chicago Bears wide receiver room. PFF has that as the Bears' biggest question. Do you agree? And DJ Moore ranked the 20th best wide receiver in the league. Too high? Too low? Just right? The date is 5/27/2025. It's 7:11 in the morning. And Jordan JC.
What do you got?
Sick of these birds.
Yeah,
I get you.
The birds.
It's the birds.
Came back with a vengeance this Memorial weekend. Jesus. You want to cook us? We'll slag your connection. Jesus.
Oh, dog. That was wild. That was wildly annoying right there. Like, I get it if we're just late. Like, it makes sense if we're just late. But when I do everything right, and then the program's like, oh, you thought I was going to work, did you? No.
Just like Shane Waldron.
Yeah, but you thought we were going to be starting this on time, didn't you?
I was an OC.
Why?
Stinking connection. God.
Oh, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. The show love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
You really showed off that factor. I was just about to say.
I'm going to get that product placement in there, baby. You got a
factor. Oh, is it refreshing? Nice.
Tune in, tap in with us if you're wondering why I'm doing that. Make sure to tap in with our sponsors over at Factor, man. They're supporting us over on the Windy City Breeze, and they're offering a 50% off discount. So if you're in need of some good food, I'm surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's surprisingly good. Just like throwing it in the microwave for 2 minutes and cooking it, it's surprisingly good. If
I've seen the ads. I'm gonna have to get on it.
With Factor, man.
They got any steak meals with Factor? I'm gonna have to check out the steaks.
Bro, first meal I had. First meal I had.
Let's go.
A filet mignon with asparagus and like garlic parmesan potato or something. Phenomenal.
Let's go. Factor.
Bro,
Let's go.
2 minutes of cooking. It was a medium. Medium. It was medium. It was a medium steak.
Okay.
It was a medium steak. I was like,
let's go.
Hold on. I didn't know we had this ability. Get the bird. No birds. No birds out there.
That
all right, let's do a show. We've waited enough for these people's time. First things first, Bears OTA number 2 getting started this week. Very exciting time for the Chicago Bears because this is an opportunity for you to grow off of what we saw last week. I think some things that really stood out at the first OTA, some up and down play from the quarterback, which a lot of people had talked about, right? Wanted to see a little bit better from Caleb Williams. I thought that the tempo was very good from the practice. Of course, Ben Johnson just losing it on everybody was really the theme of that first OTA practice.
Too aggravated.
I think some things to look out for here at this second OTA are some of the key absences that we did see. You know, Ben Johnson, the conversation around Luther Burden didn't sound great when he was like, we'll see when we get him back. We don't know when we're going to be getting him back just yet. So hopefully we see Luther Burden out there tomorrow. What do you want to see improve, Jordan JC, from the first OTA to the second OTA practice?
Well, I know the first OTA practice, there were reports that Caleb's accuracy might have been a little off in certain spurts. And so I know that he's trying to work on hiking off of his opposite foot. So he's switching up his stance. And so I just want to see little details like that kind of get cleaned up. I understand that there's new things being implemented with him and he's trying new stuff. And so perhaps you see the growth and the improvement from OTA 1 to OTA 2 with that. And of course, I want to see some more solidification at the running back position. I want to see who kind of takes charge there. As you know, I'm a big Manun guy, and you've heard a lot of good things in Kent with the way that he's been practicing. And so I want to see if there's any more improvement with that. I know you showed the film of him taking the snap from Caleb. Could that be any indication versus Roshan being running back 2? Let's start there. So we'll see. I think it's all just going to be good competition. Really, I think that's the name of the game, is just continue to increase the competition at these different position groups.
Honestly, I'm not the thing I'm looking most. Yeah, the thing I'm looking most forward and hoping to see from this Chicago Bears team from OTA 1 to OTA 2 is the yelling working? Is the accountability working? Because otherwise you're just yelling to yell. And I'm not saying it has to be perfect, right? But like, are you seeing that? Because the one thing that, you know, getting to lay eyes on him and getting to see him in person, the one thing that surprised me from OTA practice number 1 was that Caleb Williams was getting into the huddle, getting the play called in, getting out, getting the operation run. Now, with things being run perfectly, no, I wouldn't expect things to be perfect at the first OTAs. Again, you know, there's a reason that Ben Johnson in that opening press conference said, you know, it's going to be fun.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? There's a reason for that. Brought to you by Pigeons. There's a reason for that, where you kind of look at this Bears team and go, okay, like there's going to be some uncomfortable play. There's going to be some uncomfortable moments. There's going to be some moments that it doesn't look perfect. And where Cole does get yelled at for not lining up right, and where Caleb does get yelled at for not running the play perfectly, right? But the operation in the beginning of get in, call the play, get out of the huddle, get to the line was quick. Now I want to see if from that first few days of practice on the field, not only are we running the play and getting to the play, but are we executing the play at a higher clip? And so I am excited to see that coming into this second OTAs.
Yeah, to add to that, I think one of the things Ben Johnson kept harping on is making sure that everybody does their role right within the play. You know, even if the ball's not coming to you, you know, that was one of the things that we saw a lot of times kind of lag off is when, you know, maybe DJ Moore or Cole Kmet or Rome wasn't getting the ball. Are they running their routes with a lot of energy as if they are getting the ball, you know, kind of throwing off the defense, or are they kind of just kind of ho-humming it? And so that's one of the things that Ben Johnson really harped on or really emphasized is everybody has to do their job 110%. You know, for this thing to really, really hum. And so that's another thing that I want to look at is, again, the small details. Are you putting forth max effort despite not getting the ball, or whether or not even be on the offensive line? Are you putting max effort in doing your assignment? And so that's another thing that I want to see.
Yeah, and listen, I think, you know, seeing the we're focused in on the offensive side of this thing, right? But we saw some changes come down the pipeline a little bit during that first OTAs, right? Daniel Hardy getting some work is that Sam linebacker, right? Like, you know, does he take a little bit more of it? And again, you're not winning jobs here. This is just about knowing where you're at and where you should be. But Daniel Hardy's looking for a reason to get on the field outside of special teams. Can he take a hold on that job, especially with, right, it seems like your best option right now is Noah Sewell and or Ruben Hippolyte III. And listen, Ruben Hippolyte fast, but y'all know I still have my concerns. I hope that he has all the success that he says he's going to prove all the haters wrong with and all of that.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
I saw the Karan Amagaji. My quarterback won't be on the ground.
Oh, you're on the ground. Yeah, exactly.
But no, like I think that is truly like when you're talking about on the defensive side, while that position is not going to be on the field nearly as much, that's a job that could be locked up. Does Daniel Hardy find a way to get himself into that linebacker conversation? Because it doesn't feel like he's going to be a big piece for the Chicago Bears off of the edge.
That's interesting. I mean, yeah, you know, mix and matching again. That's why I guess Ben Johnson had a clean roster or depth chart. Is you know, maybe they're mixing and matching and trying to experiment with certain pieces that have maybe the ability to kind of play outside of their normal position. And so I love a chance at Daniel Harding getting some go at linebacker. And so you love to see that. I know there's another competition maybe at linebacker 3 as well. Who's the guy that I've been talking about since we've gotten him? Sewell. Noah Sewell.
Yeah, he's in that conversation as well.
Yeah. You know what? Does he finally get a chance to be, looked at and have a viable chance at starting at that position? Jack Sanborn's gone, and so there's an opening there. He's got the talent. He's been talented since Oregon in his high school days. He was a really high touted prospect. But can he put it all together? That's the biggest thing since he's been in the league is can he put it all together? And so want to see what goes on there. But overall, again, I need to see more discipline. As you mentioned before, is the screaming, is the being the vocal coach that Ben Johnson is seemingly going to become, does that work? Because again, we've seen where that can actually kind of tire out after a while. Maybe the players listen to a certain extent to begin with because your voice is new. They're all in. They're trying to see, okay, this is the new culture, new coach. He has a great track record of being an offensive genius. But does the yelling actually work to the point where it makes the changes in the culture going forward?
No, yeah, that's a big thing to see. Otherwise, you're exercising futility. You know what I mean? Or do you start to lose people? Now, if by the second OTAs you start to lose people, you got bigger problems than what you think, right? I'm not saying that that's kind of where we're at, but it's just about seeing those incremental improvements. We've seen continuously the Bears go out there and nip in the bud, an issue that has happened right at the end. Hey, get back in the huddle, run it again. We're not doing that. Is that working? And it's going to take time for all of that to play out. It's not going to be a finished project, but are we seeing them move in the right direction is really the biggest question we want to answer. Let us know how you guys feel. What's the number one thing that you want to see improve between OTA 1 and OTA 2 based on what you guys heard from the OTAs? I will be up there tomorrow for OTAs.
Nice.
Because, right? Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I will be up there tomorrow for OTAs. So get a chance to talk again with Ben Johnson. I believe we may get Caleb Williams at the podium.
Okay.
We'll see. If not tomorrow, then we won't talk to him till minicamp probably. So hopefully we get Caleb Williams because I know there's so many people in the Bears media just dying to ask him about this article. Please.
Oh my God.
Why?
Yeah.
Why didn't he talk?
Silly.
We need something to talk about. All right, let's keep this thing moving.
That's crazy.
It kills me because everybody's like, there is this section that's just like, we need these answers. And I was like, I don't think we do. Only answer I would want to know is why let it come out. That's the only one where it's like, or not even why let it come out. Why'd you tell somebody? Like I think that would have been something I would have never told a writer. Like,
I don't know. Probably at the time, they probably thought that they could actually manipulate the draft. I have no idea, but no, that is interesting though.
It's the only question I got. Just why would you sit down with a writer and be like, we hated it there?
Yeah.
But it all worked out.
We're all in.
I don't know. He's still alive. Let's keep this thing moving along, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you have not done so. Appreciate y'all for showing love out there, man. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below on OTAs. What do you want to see? PFF talking about the Chicago Bears' biggest question coming into the season. And for the Chicago Bears, and I think this does tie into the OTA topic really well, what is the plan at running back? What they said was ahead of the 2025 NFL draft, Bears' most obvious needs seem to be running back. But with the draft in the rearview mirror and the dust settling this offseason, there's little clarity in Chicago regarding intentions at the position. In his first season of a 3-year, $24 million deal. Darn it. DeAndre Swift, underwhelmed. Many anticipated the Bears cutting ties with Swift as Ben Johnson took the reins, but the former Lion is still positioned as Chicago's RB1. On top of that, General Manager Ryan Poles didn't draft a running back until the 7th round via Kyle Monangai.
Oh, yeah.
I love Monangai. Could someone such as J.K. Dobbins be in play as an addition to a room that needs one? Number one thing, Jordan JC, with OTAs, the running back room, a lot of people there, but don't know if you got the guy there. DeAndre Swift right now is the number one. You've got Roschon Johnson effectively as your number 2. I would assume Kyle Monangai is getting in the mix there at number 3. Didn't see Ian Wheeler out there.
Your guy.
I mean, he just had surgery.
Still recovering.
Maybe that'd be kind of a quick turnaround. But who was the other one? Gilliam? He ain't gonna make the team. Number 35 also was out there, and so those are your 4 running backs that you have on the team. If you go into the season with that running back room, are you comfortable in the running back room?
Well, you know how I feel. I feel like you have a hidden gem in Kyle Monangai. I would say that it's competent enough to get the job done because of the offensive line. I feel like with the pairing of the running backs with the offensive line being better, with the talent that we have there, real good product placement you got there. Refreshing factor. What is that? Strawberry banana, by the way?
This is mango.
Mango flavor. I thought I saw some, but mango. Okay, right, nice.
Delicious.
Tap in. So offensive line, I think, actually improves the running back room by default because you have the ability to maybe open up some more holes. And so, does DeAndre Swift look better? We still have him here. We know that probably the plan was to get TreVeyon Henderson, I should say, in the second round. When that didn't, work out, we went to plan B and got Luther Burden. Went back into the other rounds, probably was trying to go for Cam Scatterbo or Quinshon Judkins or, a couple other names.
Cam Scatterbo if we wanted.
Could have, but we didn't jump at that time. So that's what I mean. It's like we kept trading back and going back, and it just didn't work out until we, got a guy who, by all accounts, was the best running back in Big Ten, on his team. And so my thing is maybe we have something there. We don't know yet, but standing pat as where we are now, I mean, DeAndre Swift had his best scrimmage yards in a season last year. We can't scoff at that. We can't sit there and say that isn't a fact. And so does it improve, like I said, with better protection? Does it improve with a year more with this team and the chemistry working? And again, him understanding the scheme under Ben Johnson. Now, we know Ben Johnson may not be in his camp as far as wanting him to be here, but now that he is and he's still here, I'm saying that being the de facto number 1 running back, DeAndre Swift might have a really good season. Then you throw in Roschon. Is he actually going to be utilized more? Is he not? Is he going to be that third down back? Is he going to be that goal line back? So we have the pieces here that could make this work, is what I'm saying. But we have to see it first. We looked at J.K. Dobbins. We talked about Nick Chubb, all the injury-ridden star running backs, but none of them have been brought in the building. And so I feel like with where we are now, we could still make some noise in a sense.
Here's the only thing I'll say about that the running back situation that majorly concerns me.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that maybe Bears fans are just very content to bury their head in the sand on. In 2022, and I took some time to do this over the weekend as I had a little bit of free time to actually relax and chill.
Oh, that's right.
I went back and I watched probably, and I'm not saying full games here, but probably 10 or 11 of those Detroit Lions games to really see, okay, what was going on with DeAndre Swift?
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you the only vibe you can get out of those games is that Ben Johnson hated this guy. You had Jamal Williams he had a phenomenal season, right? 262 rushes, 1,000 yard season, 17 touchdowns in total, right? But it was a force feed of get this ball to Jamal Williams, get Jamal Williams the ball, let Jamal Williams be the guy. It wasn't like Jamal Williams was killing people. It wasn't like he was this amazing, oh my God, I can't believe we've got this guy running back. There were times where literally in games you would look and go, okay, this has got to be the time where Swifty gets in. And I don't even know who the other dude that was getting in was. Like, bro, he hates this dude, bro. I was seeing Craig Reynolds snaps.
Craig Reynolds. Forget about Craig Reynolds. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All I'm saying with all of that is Johnson is comfortable with where this running back room is at. And I do think there could be an addition coming to the Chicago Bears in the long run. I don't think that Ben Johnson is comfortable with where his offense is at with DeAndre Swift as the lead back. And I went back to that specific year because clearly they were not comfortable at that point with the running back room that they had in totality, and DeAndre Swift could barely crack snaps in that room. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, this is a little bit better room than what that was. But does that mean that Ben Johnson is all in on DeAndre Swift? I don't know if I can follow that line of logic, and we can feel like, well, he's got no choice but to use him now. Yeah, all right, we'll see. Well, I bet you he thinks Roschon Johnson could do what Jamal Williams did.
Well, yeah, I agree. That's the role that he probably should get, or even Kamanungai. Both of those guys are guys that can kind of run through tackles. DeAndre Swift doesn't. Oh, there it is again. And it's just like Ben Johnson is probably saying, yes, I need a guy that can actually run through the contact. And so we know that that's a weakness of DeAndre Swift. My thing is, if I'm Ben Johnson, at the end of the day, where's your trust lie? You have a star-studded, by all accounts, coaching staff. You have a running backs coach in Eric Bieniemy that you already know is going to get after his boys, and has had a track record of working with some of the great running backs in this league. Obviously, Adrian Peterson. And so does that pairing make DeAndre Swift a better running back and make this running back room as a whole be better? That's what I'm looking at is, again, the protection on the line improved, obviously. We have some of the better run blocking guards by PFF standards and center. And so all those improvements and all those things that you've invested into this team for this year, can that catapult this running back room? Can that catapult DeAndre Swift into maybe another level? Not saying that DeAndre Swift is going to turn into Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry or anything like that and hit 2,000 yards out of nowhere. But what I'm saying is he still has the talent and skill level to be better than what we've seen. I do believe that. I understand that, maybe what it looked like in the past is the past. But you have to deal with the here and now. Because he's still on the team and he's still the lead back, I feel like with the staff that you have in place and the line that you have in place, he could actually be better this year.
I don't doubt that, but they got to give him the ball for him to do it.
You're making it very hard for me to believe this. I'm trying here. I'm trying.
I'm really wondering if it's just going to be like, give anybody the ball but Swift. Like,
Jesus. Even Don Burr said Swift is bad. Oh, boy.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro. Like, it was like going back and watching it, it did not feel. Now, I'm coming at it from I didn't watch training camp. I didn't watch what they saw, right? I don't know if things are different here than they were there. But, bro, it was a clear need. Like, hey, we need another running back on this team. And DeAndre Swift was not that guy. Like, that's where it gets to a point where it's like, okay, and maybe you're right. Maybe something massive has changed. Maybe there was something Swift didn't do that Ben Johnson wanted to utilize that Swift just wasn't as good at. But it was very eye-opening to go back and just sit there and watch, like, first off, sitting down and typing in Detroit Lions on my YouTube was very interesting. But watching like chunks of these games and just going like, this would be a moment to put Swift in because you need a pass threat. Oh, still Jamal Williams. Okay, all right. He's not a receiving back. Like, there were all those moments. I'll ask this to keep the conversation moving in the right direction. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. I think we got Jordan JC. We hold on, give it a sec. We got over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat. All right. Over 300 in the chat. 300. Yeah, I said good morning.
All right.
Do you feel like if the opportunity presents itself, and the real question is, right, if you're going after somebody big or not, but if you're not going after Trey Hendrickson, we've seen some of the defensive names attached to this team that could be interesting that the Bears could bring in, but they're all depth pieces. Would you rather go out and take a chance on a J.K. Dobbins, take a chance on a Nick Chubb to add to this running back room? Or is it now you're just spending money to spend money?
I might be the outlier here, but you have already heard me say before that if we're taking a chance on someone who has maybe a little bit of an injury history, I'm fine with that depending on whatever money you shell out. It depends on the contract that you give them, because I think the talent level is there. J.K. Dobbins is a really, really good running back when he's on the field. You can see the potential. Obviously, we talked about Nick Chubb. You already know what potential he has, but he's getting up in age. And so, if you want to go the route of Dobbins and bring him in the building, he clearly would be in competition for running back one. And it's just about making sure that he stays on the field. That's my only issue is can you rely on his ability to be healthy? Outside of that, I feel like he's a better all-around back than DeAndre Swift as far as pass catching, as far as blocking, as far as breaking tackles. Like he's a better do-it-all all-around back in that instance. But, my only concern would be injury. But, of course, that doesn't scare me away from bringing guys in. Injuries is part of the game. And I've said that before. And so, for me, maybe I'm in the minority here, but that doesn't scare me or shy me away from saying bring him in, see what he can do. You've seen the film of JK. As a matter of fact, this past season, he still had a really decent season with the Chargers. So, yes, I'm fine with them bringing in more potential for that running back one.
If you're going to take a chance on somebody and you're signing people anyway, I would rather see you go after Nick Chubb as well. I wouldn't want to see you go out there and spend money at the running back position a ton. Y'all know how I feel about it. Like, don't go out there and break the bank. But if you're going to spend on anybody, and I talked about, good grief, what was the pass rusher that Tona? I had his last Passanio, Tona Passanio or Tano Passanio. That's a pass rusher from. You should see it. There's a K in there. Yeah.
Whoa.
There's a K in that name.
Wait, in the first or last name?
Yeah, in the last name. Passanio is spelled K-P-A-S-S.
It's the first letter. Okay.
Or did I add too many S's? K-P-A-S-S-A-G-N-O-N. Yeah, I had no clue what was going on there. I had to go find his draft.
All right.
See how to say his name. I had to pull up Adam Amin. Adam, what's his name? What's his name, Adam? But no, I think if you're going to take chances on guys like that, you go after the guy that does possibly have some upside left in his career. Very similar to what you did with Keenan Allen last year, right? You traded for Keenan Allen because you thought at worst we get Keenan Allen. At best, we get Keenan Allen at his best. And at worst, you got Keenan Allen. And it wasn't terrible. He was one of the better receivers on this team. And you move on to the next, on to the next one, and you ended up drafting Luther Burden. So now you got the 3 wide receiver back on that offense again. But the big thing is if you're going to take a chance on somebody, take a chance on the guy that could have the massive upside. If we're just paying people, I would rather you probably not, and try and find a gym. I mean, there's going to be June 1st cuts. There's going to be people that are going to be scouted out there. I think there's names that you could bring in as well. I think J.K. Dobbins ends up possibly being a June 1st cut as well, because it doesn't seem like anybody's dying to trade for him here. So, kind of keep an eye on that situation. But the big thing for me with the running back room is, are you getting pieces that have a chance to actually make a play here, or are you just getting pieces to say, yeah, we went out and got somebody, because that's what you did with the offensive line last year?
Well, that's the whole point of evaluating your talent, and so really, that's on Ryan Poles, that's on the staff to make sense of that, to make sure that yes, are you just getting a crop of running backs, and hopefully you can fuse them all together and make one ultra back, or are you actually taking steps? Yeah, just combine powers and turn them into. I was going to say some crazy names.
Captain Planet of running back.
Planet, that's right.
Captain running back.
We got DeAndre Manun guy, baby, in the backfield. Let's go. So it's like, do you do that, or are you actually taking steps in the right direction with your choices? And so whoever you bring in this building, if you bring somebody in this building, yes, they have to be talented enough to actually make sense. I agree with you there. So if you want to bring Nick Chubb in the building, I'm fine with that. J.K. Dobbins. We even talked about before, do you go for maybe even a trade for someone that's a little bit more, upper echelon? What's the name that you, Brian? Was it Breece Hall, or
Breece Hall, because he was made available.
Yeah. So those are the options that you can go with. If you really want to improve this running back room, I'm fine with the different scenarios we're playing out.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. We got to get into this final topic. Before we do, we got to make sure that we get to our sponsors. I didn't do the Aura ad read, right?
No.
Okay.
We didn't do it.
I don't want to double down. Double Aura ad.
Too young.
I don't want to. No, not too young. You shut your mouth. No, we got to listen into a word from our sponsors. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. While we got that going, if you could upgrade one position before week 1, is it that running back position, or is it somewhere else? Let us know in the comments. Take a listen to our sponsors over at Aura, and then we'll finish things up talking about DJ Moore and whether he was ranked too high, too low, or just right. We'll be back right after this. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show and Love, man. If you haven't done so, and I know at least 158 of you haven't, hit that like button on the YouTube side, man. Over on the Twitter side, 102 in there, man. Hit that retweet button. And if 3 more people jump in here real quick, we just may be able to get a little conversation, but we'll see if that happens. We've talked about multiple topics this morning. PFF saying the running back room is the Bears' biggest question. Also talked about OTA number 2, beginning what we want to see, see improve from week 1 to week 2. Now we got to finish out the show talking about where our old favorite. Oh, that is that give us up over 400.
Hey,
400. There we go.
Appreciate you.
Talking about one of our favorite wide receivers on this team, although somebody who I think a lot of people have kind of cooled off the hypeness on, which is kind of surprising. A lot of Bears fans I see out here. DJ Moore was ranked by PFF as the 20th best wide receiver in the NFL, which is a really good spot to be ranked, especially with some of the seasons that we've seen from the Chicago Bears over the last couple of years. But some of the names in front of him, I'll go 1 through 19 here. A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson. You got beef with the list already from that one. Justin Jefferson behind A.J. Brown. All right. Jamar Chase. Amon-Ra St. Brown coming in that tier 2. That's where tier 2 begins. Amon-Ra St. Brown leading that. Puka Nacua, number 5. CeeDee Lamb, 6. 7. Nico Collins. 8. Tyreek Hill. Here comes tier 3, ladies and gentlemen. Started off with Mike Evans at number 9, 9th best wide receiver in the NFL. Number 10, Terry McLaurin rounding out that top 10. Oh, Scary Terry. Jaden Daniels, wide receiver, getting in that top 10. Drake London, 11. Malik Neighbors is 12. Garrett Wilson, 13. 14, T. Higgins. 15, Brian Thomas Jr. 16, Devontae Adams. Now we get into tier 4, where 17, Devontae Smith. 18 is Chris Godwin. 19, Brandon Ayuk. And 20, DJ Bartholomew Titus Moore.
Bartholomew Moore. Jesus, I got problems with this list.
I was gonna say, now as this list is here, is this too low? Is he too high? Or is he just right?
Just right. Just that nice warm bowl of porridge. No, I don't think so. It's too cold for me. The porridge is dry. All right. You got a couple of names before
this porridge.
I'm just saying,
it's dry.
No, it's dry. It's no fruit, no flavor. Get the porridge out of my face.
Who's eating porridge?
I'm just saying, First of all, porridge is isn't that like the equivalent to oatmeal?
Yeah, I thought it was like closer to grits. I thought it was more of a
grit guy.
I don't know.
Maybe it might be grits. Whatever. I got problems with the guy. Right. First of all, let's talk about the guy right before DJ Moore. Off the rip, Brandon Ayuk. Man's coming off a season where he's fresh off ACL and MCL tears. You put him before him? Let's just go off of the fact that DJ Moore has been healthy despite being on bad teams. He has always been a pro's pro. He's always had really good seasons, even though he's been paired with some horrible quarterbacks in Carolina. And I believe when Cam Newton was not the Cam Newton version of himself at first, like you've had him throughout his career, just really try to just make chicken salad out of crap.
Out of chicken, you know what?
Yeah, you know what. And so my thing is, put some respect on DJ Moore's name. I feel like he should be up a little bit more, maybe even in the tier 3 range, because I understand the potential of some of these names. I really do. Like Brian Thomas Jr. had a really good rookie season for Jacksonville. I had him on my fantasy league team. I should know he had a really, really good breakup season. However, Garrett Wilson didn't really have a good season with Aaron Rodgers there in New Jersey. Or rather, I should say New York. I'm sorry. Malik Neighbors, we know his potential as well. Drake London. A lot of these young guys, I feel like PFF is giving them their grading based off of what they will do, right? It's not that they haven't shown potential, but you're talking about a career of really, really good seasons. DJ Moore having a 1,300-yard season a couple of years ago with Justin Fields, and so I feel like maybe he should be in that 12 to 13 to 14 range. So I'm gonna go. This is a little too low for my liking. The porridge, old.
Well, let me add some context to it because
all right.
What I will say is in 2023, both DJ Moore and Brandon Ayuk having 1,300 yard seasons. Brandon Ayuk did it in 20 less receptions than DJ Moore did.
Good for him.
And did it with 25 less targets than DJ Moore had. If all are healthy, is DJ Moore a better wide receiver than Brandon Ayuk?
He's shown himself to be a better receiver overall in his career. I understand Brandon Ayuk's trajectory might be going up, but you still have to prove yourself to me. You know, everybody can have a really good breakout season and do it once or twice. Can you do it consistently? And again, I think that DJ Moore is highly underrated, as I said, based off of his quarterback to wide receiver
It does help when you
connection.
have that. Yeah, it does help when you have good quarterback play and a coach that knows how to utilize it.
Helps when you got, you know, Brock Purdy and all those guys as well. Like what are we talking about? You know, so for me, I feel like it's the level of respect that PFF is not putting on DJ Moore's name in his career. But of course, that's always been the case. He's always been the underdog guy. He's always been the undervalued receiver in a sense. And so that's why you got to just go out and continue to keep proving it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm not as mad about the spot. I actually think DJ Moore probably the 15th to 20th best wide receiver in the NFL.
Put some respect on it.
Shout out Dennis Chicago kid with the super chat. Said disrespect for the Bears is loud. Y'all see the PFF quarterback list?
Thank you.
Don't go giving away the content.
We'll probably talk about that another day. Oh.
Got more content coming your way. But no, I have, outside of the young guys, I have a tough time putting DJ Moore ahead of anybody on this list. I'm not putting him ahead of Ayuk. I wouldn't put him ahead of Godwin. I wouldn't put him ahead of Devontae Smith. Definitely not putting him ahead of Devontae Adams. Brian Thomas Jr., good showing, you know, year one, but you got to show me a little bit more than just the 1 year. Actually, a great showing year one. But you got to show me that you can do it in this league continuously. You know what I mean? But I can't even be mad that his name is in that top 15. T. Higgins, I can't put him ahead of him. Garrett Wilson, can't put him ahead of him. Malik Neighbors, again, kind of similar situation to what we saw from DJ. He had 1,200 yards. Can you do it again? Drake London is crazy. Drake London is the one that I do look at, and I'm just like, all right, he finally had a good season. Like, we've seen Drake London be a dud for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
He finally had a good season.
Yeah.
But then you look at the top 10, I can't put DJ anywhere above them. But literally, it's like it's a couple of the young guys. But all the young guys that did it had phenomenal seasons. All the young guys that are ahead of had phenomenal seasons. My big question is, can you do it again? But it's not like they're not coming to the table with a 1,400-yard season or a 1,200-yard season. So I feel like that range is not crazy to me, but I could see why Bears fans would be upset by it.
Here's another name that I keep going over, and I'm looking at the stats comparably now. I understand that maybe there's a few stats in his favor, but if you look at the overall career, I mean, they're neck and neck. Terry McLaurin, who I feel like, you know, he's probably another wide receiver outside of Jaden McDaniels is the guy that just has not had really good quarterback play, and he hasn't been consistently given the ball enough to really showcase his talents, because you know that Terry McLaurin is a reliable receiver. He is talented. He is special. However, I mean, outside of this past season where he had a really amazing 13 touchdowns, a little over 1,000 yards, I mean, you look at the stats dating back to 2019, they're similar to DJ Moore. DJ Moore had the 1,300-yard season, as I mentioned the previous year, but I mean, everything else is 1,100 yards, almost 1,200 for DJ in 2020. Like, they're neck and neck. And so why in the world is Terry Mack so far ahead of him? That's where I see a little bit of hypocrisy, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, Terry McLaurin was crazy last year. You wilding on that one.
I did say he scored 13 touchdowns. I understand.
Terry McLaurin was taking 2-yard passes and turning them into 60-yard touchdowns. Like,
that's what DJ Moore does. DJ Moore, the yak monster.
He was doing it. I understand that 13 times. Like, 13 touchdowns is nuts. Listen, I love DJ. I was the one defending DJ last year, but That's probably 20 is probably not a bad spot for him to be at.
Let me see, 7,500.
Like when you start to look at the rankings, I would probably say DJ Moore is probably the 20th best, which ain't bad. And your hope is that Caleb Williams becomes a better quarterback this season, which improves DJ Moore.
He's got 1,200 more yards than Terry McLaurin. Now, granted, he was drafted a year before, so Terry, so 1,200 in between a year span. So that's still a really good season. So basically, you're saying they're the same receiver. I understand that he had 13 touchdowns this year, but before that, he only had 4. Like the last year. Like DJ Moore has been very consistent with horrible quarterback play. I keep going back to that. I'm putting respect on DJ Moore's name. You bring him up the list, and you do it now.
Hey, man, this is why I love these tier lists, because it is always like interesting to see like the Terry McLaurin beef is incredibly interesting, because I would have thought you looked at Nico Collins and be like, what the heck?
That is another guy. I'm not gonna lie. Nico Collins, but a lot of this is recency bias too. Let's just be honest. Like again, you look at the YNs on this list. You look at the guys on this list, and I think again, PFF is going off of potential. You know, Malik Neighbors, come on, 1 year in, you got him all the way above DJ. That's potential. That's like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be special. Or Garrett Wilson, this guy's going to be special. Sure, they have more potential than DJ Moore, I think, to be really good. But the overall resume, DJ just doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
Malik had a 1,200-yard season with Tommy.
Oh, Jesus. DeVito? You're telling me about DeVito?
I'm just saying. That's
your other half coming out. Don't you dare change on us. Don't give me that gabagoo, all right?
I got it, a gabagoo.
God, I don't care. I'm putting respect on DJ.
A 1,200-yard season with Tommy DeVito and Danny Dimes is nuts.
Yeah, that's like 2,000 with the really good quarterback. Like, you're right. All right.
Like I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to have these guys.
Doc, man, you keep it close. DJ is a top 15 receiver.
I ain't gonna lie.
I didn't have any spiked me.
AJ number 1 is the one that tripped me out. When I saw AJ Brown as the number 1 wide receiver on this list, I was like, he's amazing.
Wait a minute. Did maybe I
But he's better than Justin Jefferson and Jamar
Absolutely
Chase?
Not. No. Ugh. Are we serious?
No, you know they doing it off of their PFF grade. Hey, man, let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. Where do you feel like DJ Moore should rank among wide receivers? Is he top 10? Sounds like JC's trying to put him in that top 10 range. Is he top 10? Is he top 15? Is he lower than the 20s? Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. We'll be down there talking with you guys as well. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, joined by Mr. Media himself, Jordan.
Yep.
See. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.
Oh, it's gone.
One love.
It's been really good.
Peace. Delicious. Let me get that last little bit at the bottom there for you.
I have to get a factor add to
that's
boy.
right.
I don't know if I like how slow you're drinking there. Come on, man. Yeah, it's a very sensual factor.
Shout out the factor.
All these smooth ads we got. We got Aura. We got Factor.
We got Aura. We got Factor. You know what I mean?
Oh boy,
doing it right. Support the ads, by the way. We need money.
Please.
We are poor. Please help us. Broke 5 broke. We ain't got it. If I go outside in jeans, I got the only clothes on.
Brother, you got these new pair of shoes. Explain these new shoes.